Arr! Hashtag shiver me toombers. I remember all the pirates saying that. Disneyland's Pirates of the Caribbean ride is getting the feminist makeover now that, well, not everybody, in fact, no one was clamoring for. You know the scene, if you've ever been to the Pirates of the Caribbean, you know, the audio animatronic robotic females are being auctioned off as brides to some male pirates. And there's a voluptuous red-haired robot that seems not as enthused about getting married to, you know, the pirate after the auction as you might think. Disney says that sent a very sexist message, and it's going away. Okay. I'm pretty sure pirates were sexist. It kind of goes with the rape and pillage part of being a pirate. I mean, the last thing we can pillage all you want, but don't you dare touch the ladies. Not that I'm noticing that they're ladies at all. They might be men, and I'm perfectly fine with that. I mean, come on. First of all, may I just say... And I know this is deep and hard to understand. This is stupid. Okay, this is stupid. The looting is also a problem. I mean, that's not exactly the moral high ground, Disney. One Disney fan said, "It's uncomfortable for me to even see women being sold into bondage and human trafficking. I can't imagine what little girls think about this." I don't know, maybe stay away from pirates? That would be a good thing to teach, wouldn't you? I mean... Oh, my gosh. Now, I don't know if any kids have watched pirates, met pirates, but these pirates are robots. They're audio animatronic pirates. They're not real. By the way, and I know that we can't actually, there is no objective reality, but even in a world where there is no reality, it's a theme park in a world where there is no reality. Okay, it's a ride, and it's been a ride that's been open for 51 years. Disney first announced this change last summer at the fan convention, and the audience started to boo. Now, that didn't seem to matter because the company is shutting down the ride for the next 2 months while they make alterations to it anyway, so they don't really care. I mean, it's Disney. What do they care? Disney executives finally going to be able to sleep at night because they've made the change. Oh, my gosh. Whew. You know, I haven't been able to sleep since I started working here thinking about the slave auction that has been happening. Those women have been sold in that auction for 51 years, and we haven't done a damn thing. We're finally stopping the madness. Every 2.5 minutes, they are still being sold. They have to relive it over and over and over again. You know, I mean, okay. Maybe it's time for Disney to start taking a hard look, you know, at everything they do. Because I think it'll make the park much better. For instance, Dumbo, the flying elephant. Really? So you notice that you have the elephant attached to a pole? You've just rammed a giant pole into the side of the elephant, and now you're making him carry kids? You've hollowed out the inside of the elephant so my kids can sit inside where his heart used to be. Tarzan's treehouse? King of the jungle. He's a white man. He's not king of the jungle. What are you doing? And then on top of that, objectification of males? He scampers around in nothing but his underpants. And I think he's hetero. While you're at it, maybe you should edit out all of the scenes where women are harassed and objectified in the Pirates of the Caribbean movie. Or, I'll just be crazy on this for a second, maybe, you know, in Aladdin, that sweet young woman who you have dressed as a whore, I think somebody should take some crayons and paint a burqa on her. Because how are Muslims going to watch that movie? How are they going to do that in the Middle East? Beauty and the Beast? That whole thing is about a female held hostage by a verbally abusive white male that's finally revealed himself as the monster he is. How about the child neglect and endangerment in Peter Pan? He's being chased by a creepy man with a hook for a hand. I can't imagine what children must think about that. Yes, it's a story that they tell at the campfire about the guy who went insane and then escaped up the road, and now he's just got this hook, and he might be here to kill us, so let's get in the car. And when they got home, there was nothing but a bloody hook on the car door. They almost had him. We don't tell that story. Disney, you're out of your mind. The 1950s, do you remember the communist witch hunt vibe? Do you remember that? And you know how that was remembered now? This is the current culture. And you know, you talk about, oh, I don't like these Christians who are all after the morality police telling us what we can and can't do. You're down to taking audio animatronic robots out because you think the pirates are being sexist. You know what? You could put a bunch of little boys in there, too, because I don't think the pirates really cared. They were pirates. The only certain thing that would be left to approve would be, no, not Mickey Mouse. He's a mouse that you have enslaved and then humanized and made him part of this throwaway culture. You know, a true culprit in the objectification and abuse of women? I don't know. What do you say, the porn industry? No. I'm sorry, you people in Hollywood. You're completely fine with that. Arr, arr.
You're listening to the Glenn Beck program.
Me mateys, we can't objectify these women or sell them, marry them off as brides. Let's just go watch a good porno.
Was it Shiver Me Toombers?
Yes. No, hashtag.
Sorry.
Hashtag Shiver Me Toombers.
So stupid.
Is that the dumbest thing you've ever heard?
Yes. It's just I feel like we could just do a whole show every day with just new examples of the dumbest thing you've ever heard. New records set.
First of all, do you know why people booed? You know why they did it at the fan club? The worst place you could do that. Do you know why?
You're the Disney nerd here, so no, I don't.
Okay. This is the last ride that Walt Disney personally approved and directed.
Oh, really?
So this is his last gasp as he's like, hand me a cigarette. You know what we do? Have an auction here. So it's like for Disney fans, this is a sacred storyline. It really is a sacred storyline. So they announced this at the fan club where you've got all the geeks like me that are like, what?
Yeah. You don't violate nerd culture to their faces.
You don't.
No.
You don't.
No.
And I mean, what part of pirates? What are we doing? Oh, okay. So now our kids, you know, if we continue down this road, our kids will be begging us to, can we finally go to Yemen or Somalia? They're pirates there. Oh, no, big deal. They're great people. No, they're pirates. They're pirates.
How do the Pittsburgh Pirates stay in existence? The baseball team, just to make sure, Glenn, you know what I'm talking about.
Oh, my gosh. Wait a minute.
That's hurtful. They're targeting women, these people.
They're actual pirates and they play baseball?
Yes, absolutely.
Either Pittsburgh, you're in trouble, or I have pirates all wrong.
How about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers?
Oh, my gosh.
How can that be a thing? All these teams should be banned.
Yeah.
Immediately.
Well, I mean, if you've ever been to Gasparilla Parade in Tampa, they may be auctioning off women to marry by 3:00 in the afternoon in the parade.
Oh yeah, that's definitely part of the parade.
Isn't that the mayor? Is he? He's auctioning women off. Yeah, it's just part of the parade. Have another.
You can't judge it by the afternoon. I mean, it's.
Well, when I say afternoon, I mean 1:00.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, so
afternoon.
Technically, it is afternoon.
It's a pirate storyline.
It is.
This is part of it.
Yes.
It's like you're going to make Game of Thrones with no violence and
and no dragons.
No dragons.
No dragons.
No sex, because they treat women terribly in Game of Thrones. I'm sure. But it's not, it's part of the storyline.
I think there was a time a couple of years ago that we were thinking about it. Now we're just feeling about it. Now we're just feeling about it. I went to Pirates of the Caribbean, and there is a dog at the end that has access to the keys. And then these men are trying to trick the dog with a bone. And he's not, because he's smart, because he's a dog. He's not being tricked, but eventually, it's been there for 51 years. Eventually, he's going to trick that dog, and dogs shouldn't be tricked by people in jail. You know what? We always embrace your feelings. We see how you feel, and others may, of course, no one in their right mind, but others may feel that way. So we're going to remove the prisoners, and so we'll just leave the dog there. But we're going to make the dog mayor. He'll be a dog mayor, and he'll be abolishing all prisons for other dogs. Now, it doesn't really fit in the Pirates of the Caribbean storyline, but we feel what you're feeling.
And that's what's important right now, the feels.
It is.
What are your
No
feels?
thinking. No thinking. None. Okay, all right. I was listening to the Glenn Beck program today, and I just felt that he was raping me. He was verbally raping me on radio. Yes, I live in India, but I heard what Hillary Clinton said he thought about people. Shiver, hashtag MeToombers. The debate is raging on this morning as it has been announced that Disney is finally doing something about the oppressive audio animatronic pirates that have been in their employ for 51 years now, and they have done nothing to stop the objectification and sale of robotic women by other robotic pirates, because it is very, very dangerous for little girls to see that kind of treatment of women by robotic pirates.
They're very influenced by media, Glenn.
Well, no, not movies or Cosmo, or games or anything like that. Just
of course not.
Robotic pirates on a boat ride.
Hugely influential on people, little girls' lives.
You can't just show them that kind of stuff, Have them at home where it's safe with Cosmo and television and
porn.
Or Pregnant in 16 on MTV. Let's have some wholesome, positive role models in their life. Not these strangely white men pirates. But anyway, I digress. I think we're all on the same page about stopping not the pillaging, but the rape that is not the rape, but the sale of these women, the perpetual sale of these women. They never are actually married to these pirates. They're forced to live just the auction block over and over and over again every 2.5 minutes. And I think we can all agree that's got to stop. It's got to stop. Forget about actual slavery. Okay, forget about it. In fact, don't look at it.
No,
don't look at it. Yes, do not look at actual slavery that is happening to women and children all around the world, in the Middle East forever. I mean, just hashtag that. If you have to look at it, just hashtag, but don't do anything about it. Okay, we've got to organize, and thank goodness we didn't have to, because Disney is a caring company. But we have to organize and stop any audio animatronic perpetual auction of women.
Of the three kinds of slavery that most people discuss, number one, obviously robotic slavery.
Yeah, well,
you should always react terribly to that.
Okay.
You should always really make sure, act as if it's a current issue, the slavery in the United States of America. That is a couple centuries ago. But you know what? You should not react to it all. The current slavery going on right now that's bigger than any of the slavery that went on hundreds of years ago.
Yeah. Whatever. Shut up. I don't want to hear that. I have to tell you, if I had $1 for every study that has been produced in the last 51 years that showed the harmful effects that girls have had being exposed to that horror in Disneyland, well, I'd have less than $1 today. And I think we need to think about that.
Probably should.
Well, that requires us to think. So let's just feel about something else.
I want to be offended.
Okay.
Tell me how I can be offended today.
All right, I'm going to help you, okay? Let's all be pissed at Ricky Gervais. I don't know if we try to find it or it's just because you're not trying to find it when you are... Now, think of this. Federal Express couldn't get funding because you didn't need it tomorrow. But you have an internet problem that slows you down and you can't load a page in 10 seconds. You're pissed. You're like...